Hi, my name is Kenneth Elwood. Today I'll be presenting my paper discussing balancing mission readiness and technological modernization, IT governance at the 51st Communications Squadron. To start off with, the modern Air Force relies heavily on secure and resilient communication systems to support daily operations, command and control, intelligence sharing, logistics, and mission execution. The Communications Squadron at Osan Air Base provides these essential capabilities for the 51st Fighter Wing. Communication systems are now considered mission-critical warfighting capabilities rather than just simple support functions. Air Force doctrine recognizes cyberspace operations as essential to maintaining operational superiority. Modern military operations depend on secure data flow, essential to maintaining resilient networks and reliable communication infrastructure. Cyber vulnerabilities can directly impact mission readiness and combat effectiveness. This paper I'll be discussing focuses on how the Communications Squadron balances mission readiness, technological modernization, cybersecurity compliance, workforce development with resource constraints. I've used analysis through several theoretical and leadership frameworks to include the socio-technical systems theory, IT governance principles, organizational change management models, and Coder's 8-step change model. Next, we'll go over an overview of the 51st Communications Squadron. The squadron supports approximately 6,900 users, 8,000 network endpoints, 4,500 phones, and both classified and unclassified networks valued at over $91 million. Needless to say, the squadron has a very large responsibility at the base. The squadron also manages a $560 million technical control facility, 177 long-haul communication circuits, and extensive physical communications infrastructure. Those infrastructure responsibilities include fiber optic networks, maintenance holes in vaults, communication pedestals, antenna systems, providing base-wide connectivity. The squadron's mission directly supports operational readiness, information superiority, communications across the theater, and deterrence operations on the Korean Peninsula. The squadron is both a communication service provider and a critical infrastructure manager. Next, we'll go into the organization of the 51st Communications Squadron. To begin with, there's the Commander Support Staff, which provides administrative and executive support to squadron leadership. The Communications Support Staff handles personnel actions, task management, commander correspondence, and administrative coordination. The Communications Support Staff ensures organizational continuity and administrative efficiency. The Quality Assurance Section is responsible for evaluating mission performance and compliance. The QA section conducts inspections, audits, compliance reviews, process improvements assessments, and they help maintain readiness, standardization, technical compliance, and operational effectiveness. Next, there's a Plans and Programs Flight, who's responsible for strategic planning and long-range integration. The Plans and Program Flights align squadron operations with the Air Force cyber directives, Defense Information Systems Agency requirements, and Department of the Air Force policies. That flight also oversees budgeting, requirements management, infrastructure upgrades, IT asset accountability, and governance and IT risk management. The flight provides guidance and oversight that enable operational execution. Operational execution comes from the Operations Flight. The Operations Flights consist of about 184 airmen across multiple technical specialties. That flight is responsible for day-to-day execution of communication operations, and their responsibilities include network administration, cybersecurity defense, system monitoring, incident response, user support services, and they maintain network availability. The Operations Flight ensures compliance with higher headquarters cybersecurity standards while sustaining operational continuity. The flight plays a direct role in maintaining mission connectivity, secure communications, and cyber resilience. The operations flight has several sections. To begin with, the communications focal point section serves as the base help desk and customer support center. The communications focal point manages service tickets and user requests and acts as the primary communication hub for technical support. Another section is the cable and antenna system section that maintains physical communications infrastructure across the base. They're responsible for fiber optic systems, copper cabling, antennas, and bolts and maintenance holes to ensure physical connectivity across the installation. We also have the client system support section. Their primary purpose is to support end-user devices, including computers, phones, mobile devices, and peripherals. The airmen there provide maintenance, troubleshooting, and technical assistance for end users. Next, we have the network infrastructure section, who maintain routers, switches, and boundary devices. They ensure secure and reliable data transmission across the entire network. The system administration section manages servers, enterprise services, and directory systems to ensure system availability, patch management, and cybersecurity compliance. There's also a radio and frequency management section that oversees radio systems and spectrum allocation all across the South Korean country. This section prevents frequency interference and ensures operational communications capability, specifically mobile and tactical communications. Speaking of tactical communications, there's also an expeditionary communications section, and they provide deployable communication support for contingency operations as they prepare personnel and equipment for austere or deployed environments. In this flight, I am the operations flight chief. I'm the senior enlisted leader overseeing operation execution across the flight, and I'm responsible for synchronizing multiple technical sections, managing mission readiness, prioritizing tickets and outage response actions, and I advise leadership on operational risks. Part of my responsibilities include balancing personnel development, system performance, mission requirements, and resource allocation. I consider a successful flight chief maintains collaboration, risk management, and integration of subject matter expertise across the flight. However, my job doesn't come without challenges. As I have a background in software development, I'm not a deep expert in network infrastructure, spectrum management, expeditionary communications, or any physical communication systems. I also have a challenge coordinating highly specialized sections to maintain operational assurance due to the complexity of the different sections. Another challenge I incur as a flight chief is balancing modernization initiatives due to limited manpower and funding. Additionally, our data centers consist of many legacy systems that have to coexist with modern cloud and zero trust architectures. However, my flight chief role provides some opportunities in cross-functional collaboration to improve adaptability and resilience. And the different mission sets create opportunities for innovation, professional growth, and multidisciplinary expertise as I can move airmen across the sections so they can learn different jobs. I've come to find out in my flight chief role that effective leadership relies more on coordination and decision making than mastering every technical field. Also, the organization at the 51st Comm Squadron organization has unique challenges. The squadron operates under directives from Air Force Cyber, AF Cyber, the Defense Information Systems Agency, or also known as DISA, and the Department of the Air Force. We get these directives from higher headquarters while also having to balance challenges locally from the high operational tempo, compliance fatigue, with limited manpower and resources, and we're under constant cybersecurity pressures. Occasionally, the squadron hits an ethical dilemma roadblock when prioritizing competing mission requirements, especially locally versus higher headquarters requirements. For example, locally, the medical group may call us to repair a critical medical refrigeration system housing in their pharmacy, housing medication for the entire base populace. And at the same time, we'll be expected to execute a cybersecurity directive from higher headquarters. So the challenge comes from trying to prioritize these two competing user requirements, or this user requirement, higher headquarters requirements, with our limited manpower and resources. Our squadron, however, understands that effective governance requires accountability, communication, risk-based prioritization, and flexible execution. The socio-technical systems theory emphasizes balancing human systems, technical systems, and their mission success depends on technology, leadership, communication, training, and teamwork. Advanced technology alone is not sufficient if the personnel at the squadron are not trained, communication is ineffective, and organizational processes are unclear. The STS theory supports cross-functional collaboration, workforce integration, and improved operational workflows. For example, when implementing cybersecurity tools, the STS requires technical deployment, user training, leadership support, and clear communication. I'd like to take a minute to talk about principles of effective IT governance. Effective IT governance strategic alignment means that IT initiatives must directly support mission objectives. Technology investment should improve operational readiness for the 51st Fighter Wing. Accountability and decision rights is when governance requires clearly defined leadership roles. Decision-making authority must be transparent and structured. IT governance also emphasizes risk management and cybersecurity. Governance must prioritize threat mitigation, system integrity, continuous risk assessment, trust, and zero trust implementation. IT governance also includes performance measurements. Leadership must use metrics such as network uptime, incident response times, service availability, and user satisfaction. Leadership must also use this data to improve accountability and operational awareness. Effective IT governance also includes adaptability and innovation, where organizations must remain flexible in rapidly changing technological environments and promote continuous learning and agile adaptation. To develop an IT governance plan for the 51st Communications, I've outlined the following. Establish a governance board. To create a formal governance board consisting of squadron leadership, the plans and programs leadership, flight leadership, operations flight leadership, and quality assurance personnel. The responsibility of this governance board, is to prioritize initiatives, allocate resources, and assess operational risk. The IT governance plan should also implement risk-based decision frameworks. This will help standardize decision-making process to evaluate mission impacts, operational urgencies, and cybersecurity risk. This risk-based decision framework should improve consistency and accountability. The IT governance for the squadron should also enhance data-driven decision-making by using dashboards and analytics tools to monitor network performance, incident trends, and resource utilization. This initiative should support proactive leadership decisions. IT governance at the 51st Communications Squadron should also strengthen cross-functional integration by improving communication between operational sections, use integrated project teams and collaborative work groups, and to reduce silos and improve mission responsiveness. The IT governance plan should also emphasize workforce and leadership development by investing in technical training, cybersecurity education, leadership development, and mentorship programs. This initiative will help encourage continuous learning and adaptability. I'd like to take the next few minutes to talk about a virtual desktop infrastructure project at the 51st Communications Squadron. First, I'll define what virtual desktop infrastructure, also known as VDI, is. VDI centralizes desktop environments on secure servers by using thin clients acting as lightweight terminals connecting users to virtual desktops. User data and applications remain stored in a centralized infrastructure rather than local devices. Some of the benefits of VDI include improved security because sensitive data is not stored on endpoint devices. It's easier for monitoring and access control, and there's faster recovery from compromised devices. The VDI also simplifies management by centralizing patching and software updates, reducing maintenance workload for the administrators, and improving standardization across all the systems. There are also some cost and efficiency benefits by implementing VDI. There's lower hardware requirements, reduced power consumption, and a longer device lifecycle. However, VDI comes with some challenges. There's significant upfront infrastructure costs, increased dependence on network availability, potential user resistance to change, and so leadership must carefully manage the implementation risks. With this VDI project, there are some current organizational environments. I'd like to describe the current organizational environments. Currently, the squadron operates with mixed legacy and modern systems. We have a thick client infrastructure, and we have complex decentralized management environments. The challenges that come with those are we have an increased attack surface, our administrators have a heavy patch management workload, and keeping compliance is pretty complex. The culture of the organization also presents some challenges. We have change fatigue from continuous modernization efforts. There's some technological skepticism, and there's resistance to modernization. To successfully modernize through the VDI project, leadership must be engaged, the workforce must be involved, and we have to make sure we communicate all of the benefits throughout the whole unit. Using Cotter's 8-step model, I've come up with a strategic change management plan. The first phase includes creating an urgency to explain why the modernization is necessary. This is where we emphasize cybersecurity risks, operational inefficiencies, and legacy system limitations. We'll do this by establishing a VDI Tiger team to support implementation and build buy-in, consisting of leadership and SMEs. The second phase is where we communicate and implement. We'll conduct squadron briefings, Q&A sessions, and user training. We'll also use a phased rollout strategy, where we have a pilot program, a feedback collection from the pilot program, and refinement before we fully deploy the VDI solution. We'll also highlight early successes to build momentum. Phase 3 consists of sustaining the change. We'll institutionalize the modernization effort through updating procedures, updating training standards, and using performance metrics to reinforce innovation and long-term adoption through leadership support. In conclusion, the squadron plays a critical role in sustaining operational readiness and communication superiority for the 51st Fighter Wing. Our mission success depends on balancing modernization, cybersecurity, governance, workforce development, and operational readiness. Through effective IT governance, we'll provide strategic alignment, accountability, risk management, and improved decision-making. The STS theory demonstrates that success requires the integration of people, processes, and technology. Our VDI modernization presents opportunities for improved cybersecurity, simplified management, and long-term efficiency. And our long-term success depends on strong leadership, ethical decision-making, organization adaptability, and continuous innovation. The squadron must continue evolving to maintain information security, cyber resilience, and joint operation effectiveness here in the Korean Peninsula. Thank you for your time.